On this episode of Phoenix News, students learn that water is not only for drinking, but also for learning.
Ag-Ride classes get their hands dirty.
And new electives gets kids moving and grooving.
All of this and more.
My name is Madeline Saisanasi.
And I'm Jude Sabatini.
Welcome to another edition of Phoenix News.
Yes, this episode is jam-packed, so we need to jump right into it.
Jude, the semester's halfway through, and students are working hard in all of their classes, especially Miss Downham's science class.
We're fortunate to have access to some of the best technology out there, but sometimes it's nice to get back to the basics with some H2O.
Our biology classes dove into the wonder that is water.
Today, the kids are exploring the properties of water.
The labs are the penny lab. There's one where there's like a coffee filter and water and food dye. There's one where it's oil, water, and salt. And then the other one is where you put a paper clip in the water and you see if it floats or how many times it takes to float.
My favorite experiment was the penny one because we got to drop water on the surface of a penny and see how many we could fit on there before surface tension broke and the water spilled off.
And then, of course, we're looking at water as a solvent and seeing how oil is insoluble to certain substances, whereas water is soluble. Then they try to float a paper clip on the surface tension of water. So that indicates that some organisms are designed to and light enough to not break the surface tension of water so they can float like water spreaders. And so we'll come back together next week and they get to take a deeper look at why they got results they did for each station, and we can look a little bit deeper into each of those properties. But they enjoy it because, they're living it. They get to do it.
Thank you to Miss Downham for teaching us the importance of using our basic materials like water in education.
Speaking of the basics, our very own agriculture department is teaching students to use their minds and hands to fill their stomachs.
My name is Lenise Mangan and I teach agriculture classes. So we just finished our pumpkin patch for the year. So we planted pumpkins early in the summer and then we harvested them through August. And we have since cut the vines, letting the ground rest until next year. We've planted our fall garden, which consists of mums, kale, and broccoli. And then we're getting ready to start a new garden out past student parking that will consist of a lot of different vegetables and fruits. Culinary is very important to agriculture because we supply the food necessary for the culinary arts. We work with the culinary teacher to have crossover programs where I will talk about a certain fruit or vegetable, how it's grown, and then the culinary teacher will talk about the culinary side of that, and usually our students get the opportunity to cook that food in some sort of dish and get to try it as well.
Brandon Cochran, they call me Chef Brando. I teach Culinary Arts 1 and 2. There's a lot of connections. If it wasn't for agriculture, there wouldn't be culinary arts. We have to have agriculture because that's what provides the food for us to cook. I'm a big fan of the overlap between culinary and agriculture. I would encourage anybody that's interested in agriculture to also take culinary arts just so you get the picture of how it all relates to each other. We're a big fan of nutrient-dense food, and that nutrient density comes from local foods, regional foods, foods that aren't shipped across the world. So I think people ought to keep in mind in a kitchen, the more you can shop local, the more produce locally that you can use. You're using a fresher product, more nutrient-dense product, and you're supporting local agriculture.
It's very cool that students are learning about how to produce their own food. It's really the basics of life.
Stick around, because after the break, we're going to leap into one of DTSOI's fastest growing electives.
So I've been doing competition barbecue for 15 years. The last 10 years we've been in catering, and then the last 2 years We've started a fundraising business using barbecue to raise money for kids, schools, churches, organizations, anybody that needs to raise money. We use barbecue to do that, kind of following our passion, helping others. We just started raising money for the career and technical education classes at Springdale Public Schools, for the Springdale Athletic Foundation and then the Springdale Education Foundation. So we started that program last week. We're about 4 days into it and it's been going great. We've got a lot of people supporting kids and supporting the foundations, and getting ready for Thanksgiving. It's coming up around the corner, so we're selling smoked turkeys and smoked hams to raise money for those groups.
I think first of all, the product is #1 delicious and award-winning, and you have somebody from the community who's raised children in this community that wants to give back. I mean, that's an amazing thing in itself. And then you partner it with the schools, and then you partner it with students who need the funds to be able to compete and travel and see the world in a different way. I mean, it's just a win-win. That's what career and technical education is all about.
Welcome to McLarty-Daniel Country.
With 6 giant locations and over 3,000 vehicles, Northwest Arkansas is McLarty-Daniel Country. Stop by one of our showrooms today to shop our full lineup of cars, trucks, and SUVs.
McLarty-Daniel is proud to be your premier automotive destination.
Need service? We work on all makes and models 6 days a week. Plus, our full-service collision center can repair anything, from a minor ding to a major collision. Have you visited McLarty-Daniel Country?
Visit us online at McLartyDaniel.com.
Welcome back. Jude, have you been thinking about your electives for next year?
Whoa now, that's still months away.
It's never too early. You know how many electives we get to choose from. It can be hard to just pick a few.
That's very true. I've heard a lot about our brand new dance program, and our AV Tech team took a spin over to show us more about it.
My name is Micaiah Anderson and I teach dance. I've been dancing for about 13 years and I've taught dance previously when I was in college, and so I wanted to teach it once I graduated.
I didn't want to, but now I'm here, you know, just liking dance. It's actually one of my favorite classes.
This is my first year. I'm really surprised that I actually like dance this year. My favorite part is hip hop because we always get a lot of energy.
I watch a lot of different dances online, different YouTube groups, TikTok dances, just kind of whatever's current and in. I take note of that to incorporate in our dances.
Not really, unless it's like super hard to learn, but you get what's it called? You get it learned easily.
I really like it because you just do like a lot of stuff and it's gonna be really long, and I just like it a lot.
Right now we're potentially looking at going to a local competition in the spring. We're not sure yet if our team would be eligible, but we would love to get a class to be able to go there. They can learn about 30 seconds of a dance in a full hour-and-a-half block. So for a full dance, we would need 2 class periods probably.
Like hard and like really fast, like I get messed up and like it's just really hard for me to do it when it's hard. And yeah.
Really anything that they can move in, leggings, shorts, t-shirt, tank top, whatever they want to move in, just as long as it's not denim or skirts or things like that. One of my favorites is either jazz or hip hop. They're both really fun and upbeat, and I think the kids really enjoy those too.
Oh, we're back.
Those dance classes look awesome. Maybe I should take up ballet.
Maybe you shouldn't, but calculus would look great on your college application.
You know, I'm glad that you mentioned that, Madeline, because this week we're excited to show off one of the amazing people in our DTSY family, math teacher, Miss Hester.
My favorite part of being face-to-face again is actually seeing the students learn. I love it when those light bulbs go off and they actually understand something that they have struggled with before.
It's the fact that just mathematics always been really hard for me. So the fact that I can go to a class without dreading it, just like whatever topic it may be. Even if I don't fully understand it, I can come here knowing that I'll probably get out with a better understanding.
My favorite part of my job is actually interacting with my students. So I'm glad we're back face-to-face because I love the interaction.
My favorite part of her class is being able to be surrounded by the amount of kids that are in my class. I might be one of the older students, but it's nice to have a good sense of other people to help solve the problems.
I've seen like a lot of math teachers who don't really care too much about their students, or they give you the homework and they're just like, good luck. She's very patient with a lot of students. She's very kind and caring.
I think it's very important for students to have a strong educational background so that they are prepared for anything they want to do in the future.
One of my inspirations is to be a teacher, and one thing I've noticed from her is that she really cares about not only like taking care of mathematics, but also cheering up the whole classroom, making sure everyone's doing okay emotionally.
I hope my love of learning rubs off on them a little bit at some point that they're in my classroom.
She's influenced me pretty heavily. She's stirred up my fascination with mathematics again. Very getting on to me about pursuing mathematics more.
Probably just math in general, the way she teaches it. She really cares about each student individually. She doesn't just kind of leave you hanging if you don't know something. She'll take the time to explain it to you one-on-one if you need it.
Calculus seems scary, but it's teachers like Miss Hester that make me want to give it a try.
I agree. Thank you, Miss Hester.
Normally this would be the end of the episode, but we're thrilled to introduce a new segment, Influential Student.
That's right. Our first influential student is an 11th grader that has made his mark on several programs at our school, and we're honored to shine the spotlight on him.
My name's Joshua Watson. I'm in the 11th grade. I've been here since 8th grade, so it'll be 4 years now. Being in band and choir, you have the opportunity to get scholarships by doing all region and stuff. You don't actually have to major in music like I am to, get scholarships, so it's a great opportunity to be both band and choir to get scholarships to help you towards college tuition.
Josh is just like the definition of what I would think an influential student is. Being an underclassman and seeing him, his work ethic, he's there every morning in the band room, going through his scales, practicing his region music. He's never in trouble. In other classes I see him, he's always working hard. He's getting good grades. He's gonna get a lot of scholarships. Josh is awesome.
I see him as being a musician going forward throughout college and possibly even further. I feel like Josh will probably be a band director. I hope I'm not putting a curse on him, but I think that's what he wants to be. He's a great musician. I see him going a long way in his performing because he's an outstanding trumpet player, and I think that I think he sees himself as a teacher in the future.
Josh Watson is a fantastic musician. This is my 4th year to have Josh in choir. Josh made all-state choir in 9th grade. This is highly unlikely. Most 9th graders are not allowed to try out for all-state, but because we had 9th graders in our high school choir, he was able to do so. So he was one of the few 9th graders to make the all-state choir. Last year, Josh participated in All-State in both band and choir. He made it in both, and this is outstanding, especially for a 10th grader. Josh serves as our vice president of our choir council, and what I like most about Josh is his leadership skills and his work ethic.
I started out in 8th for both, in both, and I just love the experience overall, making friends, being able to play in ensembles. It's a really fun experience. The accelerated growth we have here helps tremendously for college.
It makes me so happy to see one of our brilliant peers getting recognized.
I'm excited to see who's next in the weeks to come.
Thanks for watching this episode of Phoenix News.
We'll see you in the next one.